Today, we're checking out the most affordable mid-drive ever created so far. Heybike is coming out with some pretty bold statements. Let's see what I have here. Let your jury out. Love the message. One box pretty thin. There is a hole on this side, so hopefully it's not damaged. You see right there, they dropped it. But standard bike packaging, nothing special. We have the spacer on the top, the bubble wrap that I think is just not doing much here. So here's the bike. You have it. This mid-drive should be interesting. It's not a standard motor that you see on other brands. Something new, and we have here in the box a smaller two boxes, which we're gonna open in a second and see what's inside. And this is what I get in the boxes: the charger, pedals, standard tool. I even said just like tools in the plastic bag, and instructions. And in this box we have the front light. Let's see the charger quickly. So it looks like standard charger, good quality, compact, but only 2 amps. Charging out the bike, and this 2 amp charger is so slow, so I think 3 amp will be much better, even 4 amp. I love this console. Look at this thing. And there's a lot of new components on this bike. We'll go in details, but I like this options here. So you can download from here. This is what I like the most. All the stuff about the bike, all instructions, how to set it up properly out of the box. You don't have to go on a website and look for the app and all this stuff. It's all here on the handlebars, ready to go. This is the first affordable mid-drive that will offer more than advertised, priced at $1,499 US. And this frame is designed and executed differently compared to what you've seen so far on the market. On this new model, you'll see upgraded components compared to previous Heybike models. So much better executed on this new model. It looks way more appealing once you get closer and you see what this bike has to offer. This system utilizes the 500-watt mid-drive motor, the torque sensor in this configuration measures rider pedaling power, providing 105 Newton meter of efficiency torque energy, making the ride more powerful but so much smoother from the moment you touch the pedals. The mid-drive e-bikes that I tried, just to name a few, range from $2,000 up to and over $4,000, and are the following: Van Power's Urban Glide Ultra $2,200, Ride One Up Prodigy V2 $2,245, Gazelle Medeo T9 City $2,300, Bosch bikes are way over $4,000, Himiway A7 Pro $2,400, Haoki Mustang mountain bike $1,998, Race City MD $2,300, and Juggernaut Swift CVT $2,800. And some of these models are on sale. So you get the idea. When you look at this bike from far, it looks like a regular e-bike, but once you get closer, this is the first thing that jumps into my eyes. Look at this transition. It's thin. A lot of fat tire e-bikes have thick, bulky, rounded frame. Look at this tube. It's super thin here, goes thin inside. Look at the welding. Look at this motor casing, and we'll talk about this drive in a second. Look at the battery. Nice integration. An entire tube, entire frame going down. It's very thin, very slim. And I like this connection here. This is an older stem, so you can put here a modern one if you want to upgrade, but this is how it came. And look here, I like this connection here with the bearings, nicely done into the fork. We'll check the fork later. I don't see any branding here. The same light we've seen on previous models. You won't see this light in any other e-bike. You have here turning signals, which is pretty cool. And what I like here about this frame, look how it tapers in the middle, bulky in the middle, thin on the sides. So really visually looks really good. And going down into this motor mount here. And what's cool here, when you look from the top or from the side, from far, this feels bulky and big. So very thin tubes going to the frame and the back, the triangle, and they're like smoothing out all around it. So the frame in person, you have to see it, is just beautiful. All here oval, here is squared, tapers like in the back a little bit, and here it's bigger, bulkier. But what's important here, if you're looking from the side, the motor, it's actually very compact. It's just what actually visually makes it look bigger is the housing. If you look at the casing and the mountings, all this is wider, and the motor, it's much thinner. It sticks out here. This is the cover. I never seen this motor before, so we'll see how it performs. But look at the axle here and look on the bottom. So this is all like the guard protection and all this inside. What makes it look bigger is the case, the frame that goes around it. The motor is actually pretty compact. I like the cranks, how all this transitions, very thin, very like rounded, so it looks smaller than actually what it is, and looks slim and very sleek. Rear triangle, how it connects to the rear rack, you see it goes two big bolts connect to the frame. Everything is done nicely. The bolts here kind of like recessed inside. Standard parts, but more polished, better done. Fender integration, the cables go in the back on the side. Handlebar, super clean. You only have the shifter on the bottom, no more SIS, the silver one that you don't like. This is so much better here. The twist throttle, good spring, basic grips, no hardware, but actually it's solid, it doesn't move. And I like this console. Very nicely done. Very, very beautiful. And we've seen this Logan hydraulic brakes, good pistons, good action, and the screen. Let's power this on. You have the button right here. And this is your screen. Today is super sunny, and you can see visibility, easy to read. You have here the speed, the battery, the miles. It came with 1 mile out of the box. I did 0.3 miles, and you have 5 levels of assist. Cable management, nicely done. I think all this like organizer could have done, could have been passed from one end to another and cover everything, but still very nicely done. Just little pieces here to keep the cables together, and it goes on one side. You have the rubber gasket on the side. Also here, other bikes don't have these parts. Nicely integrated. You have the key here to remove the battery and the charging port right here. The seat post, I'm not sure how it's gonna feel, but not super long. I wish it was a little bit longer. We'll see if it fits me or not. I'll probably replace it with a seat post suspension in the back. I have a bunch of those, so to make this bike super comfortable. But all around, first look, lights, console, screen, geometry, rear rack. You get this like little bungee here. Now it's sturdy. We have the light in the back here. You have turning signals, 8-speed cassette, standard Shimano shifter. I like the chainring cover, aluminum. You have mid-size, you have a lot of torque. We'll test the hill climbing and see how it is. UL certification here on the frame. You have some specs, 500 watts. The battery is 48 volts, 13.5 amp hour capacity. Top speed 28 miles an hour, so class 3. Maximum load 330 pounds. Plastic fenders front and back. And we have 180 mil disc brakes, back and front. Front suspension, you can hear the clicks, so there's preload there, adjustments, and you have here only lock and unlock position. There's no other adjustments. Now let's take it for a spin and see how it performs. I want to share with you something really cool. I got this light, and it is something really compact, really small. Here are the lights I review throughout previous videos, and I use them daily. So this is all light, all clip ultra, and the specs and the outputs are just insane. And this is the light. It is extremely compact, has this clip, and what's cool here, you have this rubber surface, and on top of that you have here magnets. So you have 3 different LEDs. Look how small, how tiny these things are. And here you have the outputs, and here you have the charging port, and it's magnetic. Really nicely done. And look at these lights. These are super small, and this is even smaller. Let's say this, for example, this all light that I got maybe 6-7 years ago. Look at the differences. Look how small this is. We can also clip on the side. What else? You get here the booklet, a thank you note, and here you have directions, how to charge, and here you have charging cable and the user manual. And let me show you the outputs really quick. So this is the lowest output. You can't see much. Next one, it is already pretty powerful, and this is the flood option, and go max. Look at this max. This is insane. It's about 100 meters in front of me, 75 to 100 meters, and look how much outputs. This is crazy. Look at this tiny light, it's so powerful. Let's go now next mode. So this is to hit as far as possible. Look at this. It's almost the power of this Heybike. Look at this thing. This is crazy. Look how far it hits. And this thing is so freaking tiny. I don't want to blind you guys. And next option is the blue light. So this we'll have to see inside. So inside, this is the lowest setting flood. This is the mid. And look around. This is more than enough. This is way too powerful. And now this is the max flood inside. And this is insane. Look how much light it outputs and has, despite being so compact and so tiny, it has still very good run times. Here we're gonna go on the throw mode. And this hits about 130 to 150 meters. It's just incredible how much power outputs. And here's the blue light so you can see. This is for police, law enforcement. Very handy to have, to see like, you know, body liquids, like stains, so stuff like that. To me, besides the output, what's super convenient, it can clip to any metal surfaces. If you're in a garage, in your car, or you can clip it to your clothes. You don't have to worry about it. It's super convenient. You just walk and just this lights up in front of you. You can clip it in the middle, on your hat, anywhere in your clothes. So convenient. Now, let's get back to the review. Let's go first, gear. And just to go over the menu, so we have turning signals, it doesn't beep, just notification. You have the right side. Okay, horn is super loud, we have to press a little harder. Let's see what we have here. Press on time it stops, and we have trip, max, average, 52.8 volts. So it's not fully charged. I have to keep it low with the charger, and turn lights on, it's the plus. Pretty basic, but I like this console. It looks really good, and these levers are nice. And look at this handlebar. Look how clean it is. So I unlocked the front fork, and seems to be good. We'll see how it feels when you ride. I kind of like the frame. It's very important here. I want to mention this. It's so unusual, but also so cool at the same time. So you see, like from fat tires from outside, the fork and the frame in the back just swivels in and keeps it very fit inside, and from top to down it goes like oval to thicker, so creates illusion of like very thin frame. And it is actually thinner compared to other e-bikes, which are like bulky in the front and the back, and they're just like a thick slab of, you know, aluminum or steel or whatever alloy they use all around. Here creates a very like visual, like pleasant design, and like it feels, it's just, look at this, very nice. Very nicely done. Completely different from any other bike so far that I've seen. Fork is not so advanced, basic one. The trigger, so it doesn't activate, you have to pedal, I guess. Let's pedal and see what it does. Yeah, so it's much more silent. First, like turn of pedals and it's super silent. And has good kick, good torque. You can see the watts. Yeah, this is pretty cool actually. Let's do also a range test at the same time and see how much we get out of this battery. All right, let's do the range test. So we'll see how much we squeeze out of this battery. So you have to pedal in order to get the bike moving. It would not work on the throttle alone, even if you go higher gear. That's interesting. Actually, first gear, 21 miles, 22, very easy. And I haven't even like switched down. Yeah, this is pretty cool. And this is first level assist, 30 miles an hour. Right here. Let's go second level assist. I can feel the bump and the power already. I mean, first gear was not that hard to get it up to 30 miles an hour. I'm not pushing too hard now, 30 miles an hour. This is nuts. Let's go third level. Not a big difference in the third speed. Let's go fourth. A little bit. And let's go five. Yeah, I think 30 miles an hour is limited. But I can pedal easily for a longer time, 29, 30. And now uphill. So now going uphill, I can feel the mid-drive actually kicking in more and assisting. Now I can hear the whining noise. I have to adjust shifting. But look, 21 miles an hour and I'm on top of the hill. Yeah, I can go 30. There's a strong wind, but I can go 30 easily all day. And the battery went up 100%. Back up because I'm pushing a little harder. It's just too easy in the 5th level. This bike weighs 71 pounds, not lightweight, but less than your standard fat tire e-bike and 26x4 inch tire size. The torque sensor here provides a more natural output, similar to what your legs would do pedaling without kicking you back, like a cheaper cadence option when you start pedaling. And a gradual power ramp up, adjusting faster to allow you to get over hill much easier. More powerful output, but maintaining that smooth gradual power increase that will keep you straight in a saddle. That feels more refined, that more expensive system offers, but in this case a model at lower price of only $1,500 and higher components and better, more pleasing design execution in my opinion. This bike feels like a more of an option between a massive fat tire and a regular off-road bike. So guys, I'm holding the phone in one hand. I didn't grab any cameras. I'm doing the test range, buying some groceries, running some errands, and yeah, I wish I had the chest mount, but not putting too much effort. The bike adjusts so fast, and also the battery is gonna show exactly the output and the input and the energy consumed and the wattage. You have to press here. I put the miles, but you can actually press here and also see in real time the battery percentage, the battery fluctuation, and adjust based on how much you have to go and how much battery you have left, and the wattage, the power output of the system, and the real time. So the power uphill will adjust based on how much you pedal or don't pedal. You can see it's gonna go higher. And here's a very steep hill, so let's see how it does. I'm not gonna push too hard. And you can see the battery percentage will gonna go down. 5th level, if I shift higher, it's going to be even easier. So this bike is going to adjust exactly based on terrain, based on how much power you input, and if you're inclined, decline, or flat. You can see the batteries just jumping up and down. The range test was different from anything I've tried so far. The battery levels were all over the place. My weight 230 pounds, temperature 50 to 55 degrees. I rode in maximum 5th level with assist. And I covered on GPS 23.3 miles in range. On the bike speedometer, it was showing higher number, 24.5 miles in range. Let's do the hill climb test. Let's go on the 5th level assist maximum and see what it does. Oh yeah, high gear so easy. 13, 15, yeah. Let's try now with the 1st level assist, number 1. 1st level. Look how easy. 13. Almost 40 miles an hour, super easy. Let's check the lights, and it is hitting pretty far. I have to adjust here. What is the light? As you can see, very concentrated. It's not really wide, but hits really far. So if you go fast, it's gonna help you, but you need a little bit more width. Maybe Heybike can adjust it and make it a little wider, but reach is pretty enough. And this is light in the back is actually very bright. Let's see the brake light. It could be brighter. You can see you have very bright turning signals in the back and also in the front. Not many bikes have this option. Majority have only in the back. And here's a side view of the bike so you guys have an idea. And this is pretty much the lights on this bike. It's not bad, I just wish it was slightly wider and maybe different tint. It's kind of like yellowish. Maybe it would be like white, will feel more intense, more powerful. Have a battery cover. This is different, and the battery comes out pretty slim. Look at this. And UL certified, and we have here 680 watt-hour capacity, maximum current 25 amps, super slick. We have here a button to show the charge, shows blue. I think it's a little less than half. And the connection here. Super slim battery. I like how it looks, and UL certified. There's a lot to like here, from the Go Anywhere slim fat tire design that's lighter, to the torque motor and included throttle that you don't see on the mid-drive models. But there are also downsides, like the throttle would not engage unless you pedal, and it's limited to 20 miles an hour. In my case, I was getting only 18 miles an hour since I'm heavier than your average rider. The reason for the power limitation is to protect the mid-drive and make it last longer. You also need to shift when the bike is not under load. Since the drive is pretty powerful and it will stretch your chain and chew up the gears. Besides that, this is the most affordable mid-drive you can buy today. The link will be down below, check it out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.